That's fine. It's, yeah.
Number. Yeah.
Mansion 3.
Yep. Okay, so what I'm going to attempt to do now is put 19, 20 and 21 all together because they're the same thing, they're just in different areas. Right? So Jacob, you want to just tell us the crux of what we're doing?
Yeah. Basically this is dealing with 3 locations where councillors previously resolved that they want lower speed limits, but due to a change in the law, those can't be enacted. The law is pretty prescriptive around the limits that can be installed, so in some cases we actually cannot install what has previously been resolved. In other cases it's just about the fact that we need to follow that procedure of consultation and production of information before any decision is made. So the decision therefore in all 3 of these cases is essentially, do you want us to go out and do that consultation, or do you want to go back to the pre-existing speed limits?
Okay, so that's in a nutshell. We either no, okay, far away.
Look, I'm gonna move option 2 for 3. As you said.
Sorry, just catching.
Thinking, I don't know.
Sorry, Councillor, which item?
Maybe 1.
3. Thank you.
So now what is option 2?
Consult.
Right.
It's 4.18, page 273.
Okay, so Melanie's moving that we go out and consult. Now, just a question for you, Jacob. If we go and consult, it will cost us 120 grand.
It's
40
difficult.
grand a
It's
consultation.
difficult to say, but it wouldn't. It feels like that's probably about the right amount of money. But that's not a project cost. So I've tried to differentiate that. There are quite a lot of costs for things like consultation that are part of overheads rather than large projects. But yes, it's probably of that order.
Just check if we were doing them all 3 at the same time,
Yeah.
would it be 120, or was it just per single consultation would be 40?
You'd probably get some efficiencies if you were to run all 3 at the same time, I suspect. It's difficult to know how big that would be.
Oh, you'd have to think.
Yeah.
But they're in the order of 30 grand each.
Probably yes. I think it's probably fair. Yeah.
So our option, just to ask you a question, is we can't do the 30 because the government said no.
Yeah.
Either just go to 50 and we're happy, or we can go out to consultation for all.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. In the case of the Norwest Arc one, that was resolved to be 40 anyway. So we would be going out to consult on what council has already resolved. But yeah, in the other 2 cases, it had been resolved to be 30. So we would have to consult on 40.
If we don't go for consultation, it's 50.
Yeah.
And if we want less than 50, we go for consultation.
Yes.
Okay. That's pretty clear. Is there any other questions, or should we just go into, oh, sorry, Tyler, you did have a question.
Just to be able to inform the next decision, I'm just wondering what schools are currently on the routes between Arden Road and Aorangi? Or going out to Hillwood, sorry. From the top of my head, I think you've got Island, Wairaki, Burnside High, within the vicinity.
Vicinity, but not on.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
travelling to school, not very near it either.
Kia ora ho, all that, you know, that's just where people are.
They're not on the route.
Bigly on the road.
So if they're not on the route,
To consult, we leave it as copy.
I mean, they don't use it.
and that consultation cost seems a bit more exorbitant to the other consultations that we've had in terms of budgets and pricing. Can you tell us?
What we normally do is we put in the cost to the project. In this case, I've tried to give a sort of fairer reflection. Like I said, our consultation team aren't charged for projects, they're overhead.
So you've separated this particular one outside of the project cost?
Yeah, I think I put both costs in there and tried to say this is what the cost of the project would be, and this is the likely overall cost to council.
And is there extra rates that go on top of that, or is it already baked in?
It's the funded cost already,
That's already.
additional cost, our consultation team.
Rates are in the tables.
But just to be clear, just so the public can hear, it's not adding to rates. So if we decide to go consultation, it's not adding to rates.
Yeah.
I was still spending money.
But we're still spending money.
But you could spend that money on something else.
Okay.
Opportunity.
More speed bumps.
Yep.
Get 3 more speed bumps.
Just wondering about the
I've got enough.
time frame for a consultation if that did pass today. Would that be pre-election or would that have to be after?
I don't think we could come back this side of the election, so we could probably do the consultations. Because it's six, sorry, so I'll take a step back. So we have to produce the information, which shouldn't take us too long, probably 2, 3, 4 weeks, I would think. Then we have to do 6 weeks of consultation, then we have to produce all that information and the reports, and then we come back. So it will be in the new term when we come back. But yeah.
That's right. Okay, thank you.
And this is almost similar to what we're doing down to Kaha Street.
It's exactly the same.
Exactly the
Yeah.
same. Okay. Sorry, Mel, did you done the question you just moved? Tiles again?
Sorry. The streets that I'm reading here, Condell, Matsons and Aorangi are the ones I'm probably worried about in terms of speed, particularly 50 kg or more.
Yeah.
Do you have the average speed across these streets in?
Not off the top of my head. From memory, we have. I think we looked at whether these should be greenway. My memory is that I think the average speed is just over 50 on Aorangi, but I have to go away and confirm that.
Yeah, okay. That's the main one I'm really worried about in terms of the speeds. The other ones, you sort of can't go 50. The environment sort of tells it, but I'm just wondering of a way forward. Because Aorangi, there is significant speeding around there, and those people in here would love a good rumble on the road.
You're keeping it, be here all day, you just got
Okay,
to
okay.
consult and that might come out of the consultation.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can't speed down Aorangi Road anymore because you can't go across one. Victoria.
Clarity in relation to Condell Ave, it is only a small couple of metres stretch between the Aorangi intersection and the Matsons, so it's not the entire length of Condell, it's just that little bit length the Norwest Arc from Matsons to Aorangi.
Yeah, that's the intent. It follows that dog leg all the way through.
But the rest of Condell is 50.
Yes.
So we'll be driving down Condell at 50, change to
30,
maybe, to go 100 metres. and then
less
go back
than.
at 50.
Well, you could bike safely, there's another option.
What have I done to deserve that? Okay,
So nicely.
right, so Mel, you had a second about?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Jake seconded it, you got that, Katie?
Oh, I did.
Oh, that's it. Okay, so we'll go into debate. There's no more questions to be had here. Anyone like to debate this and try and plead their case? Sarah.
Kia ora. So across the country, communities have pushed back against a current mandate from the central government to increase speeds from where they had been approved to be lower. Because for the most part, communities, neighbourhoods, people living within communities want themselves and their children to be safer on their streets and to have less noise on their streets as well from the traffic. So one of the things I get most from the community is please slow down streetcars on my street. And whether people are asking actually for speed bumps or for slower speeds, those calls come from the community all the time. And I know there's been many people who have been waiting for a long time for their streets to be slowed down, that are disappointed that that's no longer possible. While I understand the new rules in place, I'm not going to vote to increase speeds because I don't believe that's safe for children. We know that kids don't live next door to schools. They live all over the communities and they travel to get to schools. And I'm keen for our streets to be safer for them. And for the older members of our community who walk around these streets and try to cross the road and struggle when the roads are wide and the cars are going fast, and they get put off going for walks and they are less active than they would like to be otherwise. That impacts their health and the health system. So I'm not going to vote to increase speeds. I will vote to consult. And I'd urge others to do the same things.
Charlie and Mel.
Yeah, so there were a few streets which physically it's hard to go 50 in some of these connectors. The ones I was really worried about was Aorangi and Matson's particularly. And then if you refer to 4.9 in the report, it says that average daily traffic between 2,000 and 4,000 vehicles per day, which 2 to 3% are heavy vehicles. The average speed is typically around 47 kilometers an hour, and the 85 percentile speed is typically around 53 kilometers per hour. And that there is a red flag to me, because now I actually have to go down that road every day, dropping my daughter to school. And I am noticing the hustle and bustle, particularly between the school hours and after school. And while you can't necessarily go 50 kilometers in some of those high traffic areas, the problem is that I've got is between the rush when you're trying to turn right or left, etc., and trying to catch those gaps, people speed up. I am hesitant to just willy-nilly say yes to 50 Ks without actually talking to the community about it. And I'm probably going to go with Councillor Coker's motion to go out and consult on these speed changes. Kia ora.
Mel, then Pauline.
Constantly around this table, we're saying central government step out of our decision making. You know, it doesn't matter which government it is. They're always dictating to us what we need to do, what decisions we can make, and revoking decisions that have already been made is crazy. And so having to go and consult is highly frustrating. If this does pass, and if we did end up with 40K, that still wouldn't be as good as the 30K we had originally. A lot of these streets or planned for those streets, and that is the safest speed for people who are cycling, and we're trying to encourage cycling, and the cycling infrastructure we're putting in is actually highly successful. A lot more people are biking all over the city, and I want to see us support that. And you know, changing speeds for drivers, I mean, I know that it's very frustrating if you're looking and you've got to see what speed you need to be doing, but actually if you're a driver, you should be looking at what speed you should be doing. You should be thinking about who else you're sharing the road with. You should be thinking, you know, I care about other users, because roads are not just for cars. Roads are not just for people driving in those cars. Roads are for people who cycle, who take other forms of transport, who walk, who hobble across with a walker. You know, there's a whole lot of reasons for why we should be very careful when we're driving on our roads, and supporting going out to consultation means supporting anyone who's vulnerable on our roads. So that's why I want to support this, even though it would be far better if we could just do what we already decided and not waste time. But here we are.
Pauline?
Yeah, and I agree, Mel, it's very frustrating having to revisit this all again, and for possibly a slightly lesser outcome in our view. I mean, localism, I've always supported localism. I've always supported the knowledge that's held in our communities, and consulting actually gives us a really good insight into that. We're seeing government after government campaigning on localism and then not delivering on it, doing the actual opposite. And this is a prime case of it. We've already invested heavily in this. Maybe we have to invest again if this passes today. But I will be supporting the motion, of course, being the seconder, but because it's the right thing to do. We've got to keep our children safe. It's supporting our own objectives as a council to keep our children safe. So backing localism to me is the key thing here. So please, please support this today, and let's hear what our communities tell us that they want.
You know, thank you. I just want to thank staff for all the work you've done, and it must be incredibly frustrating to be kind of mucked about by central government and by ourselves, etc. So I just want to say thank you very much for the work you've done. I'm going to support going out for consultation. I mean, it just irks me that we've got to spend some money to find out what I believe many people will know. If you're looking at Antigua Street, for instance, it's a block. But the key there, going for Melanie has said and Sarah have said, you know, there are going to be young children there. they will be the opposite problem to the elderly. They could shoot out in front of a car, etc., like lightning. Whereas an elderly person on a Zimmer frame or a walking stick or just slow, having been through the pool for just trying to stay young. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Yeah, shouldn't have said that, should I? But it's just stupid. So I think to be going in our central city at some places at 30, which is required, and then suddenly going to 50, it's just not going to work for me. I do think that we've got a bigger picture here, but that's going to be for another day. But I'm going to be supporting the consultation, I think. So thank you both for your input.
Just have a wee yarn. I agree with Tyler when he says that in most cases the environment that they're in makes the road go slow. Because I've been up and down Arangi Road a number of times. It's quite a narrow road, and I don't see people. You're never going to stop the idiot like I was once, driving it once, driving up and down, things like that. But
Before you Mirity.
thank you. But two of these, the one on Norwest Arc and Antigua Street, as Tim said, it's only one block. We don't have to worry about cyclists because they got their own separated cycleway there. The cars could be doing 100 kilometres down the road, and the cycleway is making them safe. So
the pedestrians are just extra.
The difference between 10, 40 and 50 is negligible. And I don't think, because Antigua Street, for one, is going to be a lot narrower. Once you narrow a road, people tend to go slower anyway, because there's a lot happening. I just don't think it's worth spending the thick end of $100,000 doing it when it's down to 10k difference. So I'll be not voting for going out for consultation because I think we're pretty well covered with all the money we've spent on the separated cycleways anyway. So where are we at? Who did what? Mel and Pauline.
Yes, so the alternative recommendations for consultation are now outlined across all three items, 19, 20, and 21. So you'll see it there that it's, sorry, Jess. There we go, that in accordance with the requirement with the land transport rule, it's instructing staff to undertake consultation. So we've had these recommendations prepared. If option 2 was moved today.
Thank you very much, that's clear. So here we are, we're putting it in the vote. If we want to go out for consultation, say, sorry, you can say it. Oh, division, okay.
Does that read just the item 20 for the consultation, or is that for all of them?
Three. This is for all three to go out to consultation, and we're having division, sorry.
So we'll just start with item 19 then, the Norwest Arc item.
Doing them all together.
Oh, do them all together?
Okay, we can do that too.
You've not hit the memo.
Yeah.
Bill, no one listens to you.
So items 19, 20, and 21 for consultation. Yes. Deputy Mayor Cotter.
Aye.
Councillor Barber.
Aye.
Councillor Coker.
Yes.
Councillor Donovan. Yes. Councillor Fields.
Yeah, I'm righty.
Councillor Goff.
No.
Councillor Harrison Hunt.
Yes.
Councillor Henstock.
Yes.
The Mayor.
No.
Councillor Johansson.
Yes.
Councillor Kewen. Councillor McClellan.
Aye.
Councillor Moore.
No.
Councillor Peters.
No.
Councillor Scandrett.
Yes.
Councillor Templeton.
Aye.
It passes by the slimmest of margins.
I won't keep saying now.
You don't
Like I was doing earlier.
Thank you. No, thank you guys for doing it all together. It just saves one hell of a lot of work.